very critical to the issue of diaspora investment in the arrest agenda for inclusive development, the president's vision for our prosperity, and something all of us need to key into. This is important for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and for the ambassador here, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, under the president's leadership as the chief architect of our foreign policy. All of us together as a team have embarked on economic diplomacy. It goes beyond the issue of aid. We're looking at how we look at trade and investments. And Liberians in the diaspora are critical for this. Liberians in the diaspora are doing business, small businesses, medium enterprises, and big businesses as well. Liberians are in trade, Liberians are investing in other economies. Why not in Liberia itself, where all of us can be at home and find prosperity right where we were born, right where our native land is. This is important to His Excellency, and I just want to say to you that as we're saying to foreigners, as we said to foreign companies today, Liberia is open for business. The points that were raised by the Peace Ambassador, which reflects and represents all of you based on the signatories and attestations that we heard, all of those points are very important, and we've taken note. And I'm looking at the ambassador, I'm also looking at other members of the delegation as it relates to shipping fees, port fees, the clearing of containers and so forth, the points you've raised around trade and some of the bottlenecks you face. We've taken note of the need to ease the burden on you as it relates to accessing your rights, your identification, your citizenship document, your passport. We've taken note of that, Ambassador, and we've taken note of several of the other issues that you have raised. We have them documented, and we'll be working with the key stakeholders responsible for the different issues you've raised to look at them and to give you feedback as well. As we presented to the President, I can tell you, he will hold us accountable. He will hold us accountable in terms of what we've heard from you today and in terms of how we respond to it. One thing we can definitely say for sure is that within our control, sooner than later, will be the issue of passports. And we hope to be able to bring those services to you sooner than later. Because you are here to hear from our president, to hear from our leader, our father, our visionary, I will not take up too much of your time, but you'll hear from us through the ambassador in the days, weeks, and months to come. Thank you.
Additionally, we know some of you have statements to make, probably questions to ask. So we want to open up the floor before the president speaks, so that when he responds, we will close the session. So, has anyone else anything to say here? You call your name, which state and or city you live in, and we can ask your question and all make your statement. All.
Thank you for the opportunity. So my name is Stephen Collins Jr., and I have the privilege to serve as Secretary General of the Liberian, the Federation of Liberian Associations in Europe. Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity that allows us to engage with you. If we want to reflect, these kind of opportunities are rare for us in Europe here. We don't remember the moments where President comes and we have this opportunity to act. And so we appreciate the opportunity. So here are a few points I want to make. First of all, Mr. President, I want to say that I think you have placed our country on the right trajectory with the improvements being made in foreign service, with the bar being lifted in foreign service, with our economic policy. I mean, the growth, economic growth, pace on course, one may say. And so we are satisfied with the trajectory on which we place our country, and we love the direction in which we're moving. You know, we believe that the foreign policy plays a key role. So, I mean, rebranding Liberian image out here is something that is very key, and we love that of you. We can only hope that you will continue, you know, with this part. Having said that, Mr. President, one thing I want to bring to your attention is our admiration for your fight against corruption. Of recent, that fight against corruption affected some of us, some institutions that we are concerned about. You made a decision a few hours before your exit from Liberia that led to the dissolution of Tubman University Board of Trustees. We've come here today as alumni of Tubman University to say a big thank you to you for the fact that you are following the issues at Tubman University. We want to ask you, Mr. President, that the problem at Tubman University is yet to be solved. Unfortunately, the Baptist Reverend Dr. Olu mentioned is proceeding error from corruption to ensuring that board members are pocketed. And so, Mr. President, the only one thing you can do for some of us is to ensure that Tubman University does not crumble, is to ensure that Tubman University is rescued by the rescue mission. And so that point is very key, it's very close to our chest, and that's why we have to say it. And so, let me not take a lot of time.
I thank you for adhering to time, but others might not have the same luxury, so we give you at least 2 minutes. Not long. Please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is F. Samuel Duebuli, former employee of the Ministry of Youth and Sport, Rivergy County. Mr. President, I want to say thank you for the corridor to Grand Gia, and I know it will reach to Rivergy. It amazed me for the fact that those places were used to be hard to reach. Sometimes it took 4 or 5 days before you arrive there. But your government have made some progress in that, so I want to say thank you. Mr. President, I have some issues that I want you to look at as a key issues in Rivergy County. Rivergy have only one institution, high school, called Toejigli. Mr. President, I beg your indulgence. Rivergy is a big county, have 3 electoral districts and 10 administrative districts, and only one high school. I beg your indulgence with your former minister to make an erection of one more public school in fixed time, so it can be 2 for the population. Because people come from Webukonken, people come from Jotoken, people come from Tidiken. It's a hard to reach area. So I would love for you to look in that direction. And thank you all so much for the development. Thank you.
The lady right here. The lady right here. It's a lady here. It's a lady here.
Now we take to gender balance.
Good evening, Mr. President. My name is, and also Madam Griswold and all the ministers and distinguished guests. My name is Silu Doe, your daughter, Silu Doe Addo. I must acknowledge my wonderful husband here today. When I met with you earlier this year at the Executive Mansion, I shared with you that I was here in Paris pursuing my PhD in international relations and diplomacy. And I'm in my 2nd year, and as Madam Pym stated in her statement to you, mentioning the issue of the need for scholarships and support for, Liberians living in the diaspora, I wanted to go along that line and just share with you as the only Liberian at my university at the highest level that one can obtain education in academia. I find it very lonely, and I have no support system in terms of other Liberians or maybe opportunities to reach back and as someone who's in research, having opportunities to navigate and communicate with the diaspora, with Monrovia, and be able to, find ways to ask questions and things of that nature. So I just wanted to ask, is there a system in place or if not a system in place, some type of mechanism that can be set up to give support to Liberians in the diaspora, not just in France, but other people who are pursuing higher education, especially on this level where we really need to conduct serious research. Those of us who, like myself, is pursuing Liberia in terms of research, in terms of trying to understand what is going on and what has happened with our country. I was just wondering if there could be something that is in place where even a mentorship or even other support. I did a year of internship at the embassy and UNESCO. That was absolutely amazing. The team here that you have in France and Paris is absolutely phenomenal. And I just want to know if possible that we can establish something that people who are pursuing higher education, who are seriously interested in serving and giving back to their country, to not let their talents go somewhere else, but we can be able to, you can funnel that talent back home to Liberia. Because as someone who is very passionate about my country and wish to serve my country, I would hate to, not have the opportunity and have to turn somewhere else because there is no, situation in place. So I just wanted to build something on that. Thank you.
Yeah,
This way. Her hand been up a while now. Ambassador?
Yeah, I know that lady.
Okay. Yes, sir. How are you? Very nice to meet you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My name is Dr. Ahmed Safar. I'm a senior legal counsel at the Islamic Development Bank based in South Africa in Jeddah. So my point is, as I've known, I'm the only Liberian that worked at the Islamic Development Bank. And it feels really painful to see that Liberia is not a member of Islamic Development Bank. Other countries, they are getting a really good opportunity out of that area. You get it? So I don't know what is your position or your government position becoming a member to the Islamic Development Bank, which will really help in terms of infrastructure development and economic leverages for Liberia. Thank you.
Two from there, two from here. So we'll take three from here.
Good evening, Mr. President. I have some people here. We lay the France here, part of the institution. From diaspora, we have a small problem. We are kindly asking the poor system in order for us to be here in the time of election. Okay, we will help us all to be here and vote. We see the majority of our neighboring country are here and they are also able to vote. They are now going into the country. So now, very helpful because we are willing to vote for our leaders, but due to our busy schedule, we are here, we don't have the chance to return to go for the election vote. Even sometimes we can go and get a card, everything, or employment here, it doesn't wait. Again, you have to come back to start your job and we miss the election. And we have a system here in our various embassies, in Morocco, here, all in diaspora, also vote, you better help us all to power for a system in place. Thank you.
So now I want to be here and vote.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. President. My name is Nathalie Essise. I'm 17 years old in high school in France. Thank you for this opportunity and thank you for being here with us today. It is an honor for me to be here with you all. Mr. President, I want to share a few words with you on behalf of the youth in Liberia. I'm kindly asking you, Mr. President, for your endless support to the youth in Liberia. They need better access to education with food and potential to build a better future. I wish you a safe weekend and may God bless you. Thanks.
We'll have two more questions. Then Excellency will respond to your concerns.
If you're just joining us, it's listening to an engagement with the Liberian community here in France with His Excellency the President. Citizens are expressing their views and opinions and activities back home and contributing to the conversation.
From our community. Well, Mr. President, we are glad to have you here with us today. I'm so proud today to be a Liberian, even though I always been proud, but I'm so proud because when we started living here, it was very hard to find a place in France. 9 years ago, a lot of my brothers and sisters were now in France here to do very hard. And I was in Liberia in July. And then when I got to the airport, there are certain things I would go through, but this year I went straight there and did not go through these things. I'm very proud of it. And I'm also proud of the system that we are trying to fight drugs in Nigeria. Because we get our young youth that are dying, and it's so painful. So I really want to appreciate the step that you are taking towards drugs. But one problem that I got, that I want to share, I have shared it several times when I get to Liberia, and even to the embassy, I've talked about it. It's like we Liberians here, when we are going to Liberia, we pay for our visa. When we get to Liberia, the embassy gave us 3 months to go to Liberia. But when we get to Liberia, to the airport, they gave us only 1 month. So I don't know whether it can really work it out for us because when we go to the other country, when the embassy gave you 3 months, when you get to the entrance, they extend your 3 months, they where your 3 months starts. But for us, it's the opposite of the situation. When the embassy here gave you 3 months, then when you get to Liberia, you give you 1 month. So I feel that you need to pay for us because we here want to really be in contact with Liberia. I mean, for me, I have already educated my children and I've taught them that they are Liberians. This year, I went with one of my daughter to Liberia. And I want our youth here to be free to invest in Liberia. So please, if we get 3 months from the embassy here, let it also be 3 months in Liberia. Thank you.
Why did you give your citizenship away?
No citizenship.
In Liberia?
But I have right to have 2
Yes.
citizenships.
Yes, so you should.
We came here to look into issues where the president.
Conversations continuing here as the engagement with the Liberians in the diaspora, in the particular France diaspora. You're there contributing to the conversation.
First of all, I just want to say I was born in Pai, local country, and I'm a Liberian living in Paris for 50 years. No, I don't have a lot to say, but just to emphasize on the point my lovely sister just mentioned concerning our brothers and sisters whom I have different identity and called Zobo. So I want the government to see what they can do for those people, what are the future of the nation. And they say different titles calling it the Zobo. So Mr. President, Your Excellency, we need at least a little bit of effort to change some of those images. Thank you very much.
Conversation here continuing, the dialogue here in Paris, France.
Good evening, Mr. President. Good evening, Madam Minister, Senator. I'm not a resident of France. I came there firstly, I rode a flight with the minister, and I came for a program. Fortunately for me, and I said the president was coming. And I was invited by the community here to come and meet the president to be part of the delegation or the people citizens in this country that will come and meet the president and things. And what I want to say here is that people that I've talked to since I came, they said good thing about Liberia and the leadership of Liberia. They said that things are getting on the right path and they are very happy. So one of the things they talk about is trade. They said that the Freeport they all their the procedure and those things they put in place is giving them a hard time to train well. Most of the time they have to take continue to Guinea and put in a car in Tanzania for Liberia. And we see that we are losing revenue because of that. So, and they said that, oh, they would like to be the president and talk about that. But since I'm here, and I know that people who making statement, they are not talking about that. So I bring that to attention. And Mr. President, thank you once more for putting on the board LEC. And we are doing extremely well, as we can see. The drafts are coming to putting things in place so be forward. Thank you very much and welcome to Paris.
Now, will any official of government have anything to say? Okay, we'll have two more questions because the time is fast spent, but I asked organizers, or rather
The conversation continues here at the venue where the engagement is ongoing with the Liberian Community and the
I just want to say that
If you're just joining us, you are listening to activities.
who is the Secretary General of the Federation of Liberians living in France.
Continuation of activities here at
Europe,
the hall here. His Excellency is here. Liberians are here expressing
next year's diaspora conference.
their views and exchanging ideas and sharing their thoughts and asking questions as the activities happening in Liberia. We continue here. More
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohamed Diallo. I live in Paris, France. Last 2024, I obtained my FIFA scouting lesson in football, and currently I'm in the AD sport management, and also I do my course as FIFA sport management agent that I regarding. I'm in the Maryland University College in my science, football, FIFA A, legend, and management. My question goes to the Mr. President. During the campaign 2023, the President made a statement that gave me the youth a beautiful hope for better Liberia. That whenever we took over, sports going to be a key environment to go through under your leadership. But we are seeing under your leadership, all the sectors is really improving, national and international, but the sports, especially the football, really the same. Under your leadership, Mr. President, can your government guarantee us that our football will get back to the international stage? That's my question. Thank you.
Just to inform you, that I read it well on Zoom. I don't know where you follow.
Engagement continuing here in France as citizens engage where there's issues in the president on issues in the country.
With all the things I see on the media that you are doing for the country, it makes us feel very, very happy. Very happy. Because most of the neighboring countries, when you go, they are well developed. When you come, when you go to Nigeria, what's going on? But since you took over, you have really brought joy to us in the European community. We who are living in Europe, you really brought joy to us. And we are very happy for that. And the young lady that was just talking is my beloved wife. And thank you very much for the role that because I remember when you went for the big burial of the Harry Mandela, you saw how it was. And today everything has changed. It's not yet to the 100%, but what they have done, right now we can take 6 to 7 hours to get to Guam before we should take 2 weeks. Yeah, because they can't stop on the railroad and other things, very happy for that, and thank you very much, Mr. President. Please say hello to Mr. Richardson, the one is my brother.
You continue here the best that he shout out to his brother, Mr. Richardson Dover, because you know, local connection. But if you're just following, you're following engagements going on between the president and the Liberian community here in France. Now you'll have.
So before we give His Excellency the opportunity to say some words to you all, some of us in the delegation will be able to address some of the things you raised.
Right.
Points that you raised, I think this kind of engagement can only strengthen Liberia. The differences that we have, the diversity of our views, and the diversity of our perspectives is our strength. Because when we come from diverse perspectives and we weigh all of that to make evidence-informed decisions, we can only be a better people and a better country. So our tolerance in hearing each other, engaging with each other is very important. And this is the new Liberia we have sought, and this is the new Liberia that we have. A president who listens, who wants to listen, and a president who hears and responds to what he hears. So I will take a few of the points and then ask other members of the delegation if they want to add anything. So firstly, let me speak to the issue of the our sister Siludu Adams, who's seeking a PhD and wanting a support system. And we spoke just now with His Excellency. We're discussing. We'll pass that on to our Minister of Education, Dr. Jaso Jala. Those are things that she's actually seized on. She's really interested in those kinds of issues. And I'm sure as a recommendation going back to her, she'll see able to put it in place. I met someone like you in Morocco who had a similar view. And so I think this is now time for us to put that in place and give you all that platform that you need, not only for your own peer support mechanism, but also for a structured way in which you can be able to give back and tag into the arrest agenda in terms of research or the different areas that you have. So it's a really good point. So thank you for raising that point. On the issue of the visa versus the admission. So for example, when I go to the US and I have a 1-year visa or let's say a 1-year visa, at the point of entry, I'll be given 6 months. Although I have a 1-year visa, the time I'm allowed to stay in the country will be different. So the visa duration is not the same as the time you're allowed to stay in the country. However, you have a valid point on the leave, the duration will change. If you have a 3-month visa, it means within that 3-month period, you should enter the country. At the point of entry, you're told how long you should stay in the country. But when we go to ECOWAS countries, we're given 3 months. So I believe that we should look at that. It's something we should look at as a policy recommendation to our immigration colleagues and so forth to say, how long people upon first entry into the country, how long they should have. I'm sure some of those things depend on the passport you carry and so forth. But again, it's a point for us to take back at the policy level to discuss with our colleagues, Ministry of Justice, Immigration, and so forth. But just to clarify, the difference between the visa duration and the time you're given in the country, they're not one and the same. They differ. The next point I want to address is the issue of sports and the team. You heard, in fact, since you said our president said, well, our team doing better now. And of course, you heard the echo across the hall. And we do have our President's Ambassador on Youth and Sports who's here with us as well. Alion Kebe is here as well with us. But also in recent months or recent weeks, we've been able to secure support from Serbia. They will be deploying a coach. And as recent as, I think, 4 days ago or so, they told me that they had shortlisted and they have some very good candidates for us to choose from. So we're in the process of trying to get a coach, a foreign coach for the national team, in line with sports diplomacy. So His Excellency sees on all aspects of our development, all sectors. His Excellency is making progress across the country. I think the last one I would speak to then would be the one on you stressed on the issue of drugs, and I know His Excellency, that's something that's close to his heart, he'll talk about it as well. But the President declared a war on drugs. He declared a state of emergency. which means everybody in his administration has a responsibility towards helping to solve the problem. So we have Ministry of Health and others who are leading it, but everybody has a role to play. One of the things that His Excellency continues to tell us as a cabinet, that he's here for the people to solve the problems of the people. And these people are people's children. They're our sons, our daughters, our cousins, they're our relatives. There's nobody in Liberia who's not affected by drugs. Everybody has somebody close to them or somebody they know who's affected by this serious scourge, this serious crisis as it relates to the future of our young people. So I just want to add that as well, and to say on the other points, other colleagues can come in if they would like to add some points. Minister Gaffron.
Will share some thoughts on the development order and questions that were asked in connection to that.
Thank you very much, and let me join the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Dean of our Cabinet to extend thanks to the Ambassador and members of the staff of the embassy for the preparation, and thanks to you all, colleagues, for coming. We're proud to be with the President's delegation. It's been a very substantive engagement. The full result will be given by the Minister, but I feel very proud that we could come to engage with not only the French President, but French businesses, as happened this morning, and that pursuing what the Minister says is the economic diplomacy agenda. So things are on course. I want to address specifically some of the questions you raised. One, concerning the Islamic Development Bank. You know, our ambassador now to Kuwait, Dr. Kabar, was once a member of the board of the ISDB. And we started to have a conversation about Liberia's, I think, because we are not an Islamic country, but there's a status for non-Islamic countries. Things started sometime in the past, but they were not consummated. I have given instructions to my folks for us to pursue and to consummate that process. So we've already begun, and we have to complete it because that gives us access to some other support that will come from the Islamic Development Bank. We are engaging a lot of entities in the Middle East, in the Islamic area, the Kuwaiti Fund, Badea, Saudi Fund, and others. In fact, they formed a consortium of financiers for the Banga Manikoma Highway. As we speak, we'll give the full briefing to the President. I head of delegation to Kuwait in April, and we had some further meetings with them in DC for the funding of the highway. The fundings were secured by the past UP government, the first UP government for Banga to Salaye, and funding commitments are being put together now by this government of His Excellency for Vonjama to Menekoma. There is a bill, there is an agreement that is at the legislature as we speak. It's a public vote agreement that is to be ratified after the legislature goes through. Part of the corridors they are going to finance and construct will be from Vonjama to Menekoma and also from Monrovia to Goldwater side. Wow. Yeah. And the leg from Salaye to Vonjama is where we are lining up funding I just got some good news from the Kuwaiti Fund. We're getting some good news from the Saudi Fund. Before we unveil it to you fully, we must unveil it to His Excellency. So what I can say, especially to the brother from Boakai here in France, that spent about how many weeks on the road, that is a distant reality. That nightmare will not record. The president is clear-eyed about this, that we connect the road from here to Harper, paved. Those that underground Jide River Pass, you see the result. And Banga Menekoma is also going to benefit. It's going to be paved. We're not going to rest. We're lining up the financing. We don't want the work to stop. So when we came in, the work has stopped. I don't want to belabor the reasons. We have to go to Kuwait to unlock it. It's starting again, but as it starts, as it's going on, it will not stop. River G, you're from Fishtown, right? Your Excellency will tell you that we visited, when he was Vice President, I think it was 2007 or so, 2008, one of those years. We had a cabinet meeting there, and we went there. The fund was that, we went to Fishtown. The fund was that we couldn't find the fish, so that we find the town. But 2 years later, through the hard work, his help, his support he gave to Madam President, and we now see the town. I'm told that things are improving. We have a health facility. What you said, I'm taking note to communicate to the Minister of Education that you only have one high school, and working with her, we'll see how we can solve that problem. The issue about the port and clearing of goods, it's not just your issue, it's our issue. The port is central to development, is central to revenue collection. As Finance Minister, on my right hand are people that make demands for money. On my left hand, we have to raise the money. If I don't raise it on this side, I can't give it on this side. Sometimes when I get short-handed on this side, people on this side don't get happy with me. So the port is part of our equation for success. The problem that we face at the port, structural, but we are solving the problem. If you see, we are expanding working hours at the port first. I usually go home very late. Now, up to 10 p.m., going to 11, you will see trucks lining up from the port almost to Logita Cinema, entering, because we're trying to reduce the turnaround time, because the longer your container spends in the port, the demurrage will increase, and the prices, the amount you have to pay to clear your goods will go high, and then you pass it on to the consumers. So, but there's a solution that is technical that we're working on. It is called the National Payment Switch. You see, you should be able to pay and clear your goods without physically going to the port. You should be doing it anyway. It's RT system that the central bank is procuring. Some delay was happening. His Excellency invited all the stakeholders, including the World Bank. He's impatient with delay. And after that meeting, things are on track for delivering that particular architecture by next year. If that happens, services will improve materially. Because what is happening is the post-crude attempt, to physically do something. But when we do what I'm talking, efficiency will increase. They're also having an expansion plan. They're thinking about new port because the economy is getting bigger. We are outgrowing the port, so we're thinking big on that. Then I will allow you to engage with Sekou Dukle, who will give you details of that. I think there was one last issue. I think I've just most of the issues. Okay, but okay, River G, Islamic Development Bank, the port, and the road. Tubman University issue is beyond me. I'm leaving with excellency. But all I can say to go back to my seat as Liberians in the diaspora, what is happening now should make you proud, and what will happen tomorrow, you will get prouder. And what will happen day after tomorrow even make you prouder. It can only get better. It can only get better. From where I sit, from what I see, and all that is coming, next year will be materially better than this year. And the year after, thank you.
So I think before I say something before President introduced, maybe let's just all members of the delegation just let everybody see you, raise your hand where you are. I can see the teacher, the cabinet, the back, that I can remember, so they can know the president's delegation here. I see some in the front. Thank you. Before the protocol comes up to introduce our leader, I want us to close this session on something that you will not know unless we share it, but those who were in the lunch yesterday with our president. When we sat down at the table with President Macron, he said something to our president. He spoke to him about his admiration for the way he handled his visit to the White House. He said to him that he appreciated the wisdom with which he spoke in the Oval Office. What does that mean for me and you? He said that's what leadership is supposed to look like. That's the other thing he said to our president. What does that mean for us? What it means for us is that when others were saying things in one direction, our president spoke with wisdom in a way that demonstrated he has his own mind, his own vision, his own thinking that is geared towards his own people. And that builds trust. So when you hear us talking about a successful mission here, this successful state visit here to France, we came into an environment where there's a leader who already saw that our president is one we can trust. And because he's trusted by world leaders, we have to trust him that he will take us to where we're supposed to go. God bless you.
You have it, you have a leader who is trusted and well respected, and that's why he's here. And President's impression of our president involvement and presence here. If you're just joining us, you're listening to live coverage of the executive luncheon being here
Senator
in Paris. Francis Excellency will address the forum shortly. Now this day, Chief of Protocol of the Executive Luncheon will introduce His Excellency.
President's Cabinet,
President will.
Mr. Minister of Finance, Development Planning,
The forum shortly.
other members of the President's delegation, Mr. Ambassador to the Republic of France, representing the Republic of Liberia, Mr. Interim President of the Liberian Federation, living in France, by extension in Europe, other invited guests here, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion of this presidential dialogue, of citizens of Liberia living in France. It is my increasing duty at this time to present to you His Excellency Joseph Boakai Senior, President of the Board of
Excellency Joseph Boakai will now. So members of the Liberian community here living in Paris, they came from other parts of the country.
Well, thank you for picking up your time to meet with us. You come in the leadership of the country, including the senator, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who's the Dean of the Cabinet, Finance, our ministers and like that, one of the valuable people who help us to implement policies. And we're here, we do this most of them when we travel, because we are aware that outside Liberia are also Liberians who came to different countries for different reasons. Some of them for education, some came in time perhaps for different reasons. And in fact, that's one of the reasons you have ambassadors, so that they are there to respond, to listen, to relay to us some of the things that happen. I want to say thank you to the ambassadors for being able to do that. We want to say to you that our visit here has been very, very fruitful. We want to thank the government of France, President Macron, for the way in which he invited us, and the honor is restored with us, and the way in which we've been able to meet with him to discuss. After that, we were able to meet the business people of this country, people who are deciding to invest in Liberia, and also those who already are doing business in Liberia. And so we have a very good meeting. It's a short visit, but very productive. Running a government is now one person's responsibility. So all the people who are here that you see have contributed and continue to contribute. I think one of the things we have to understand that for a good government, you need people who love their country, people who are aware of the issues of the country, and are willing to give time to address them. They're not the ones people clap for all the time, but they are determined to move the country forward. It's so easy to come to see all the good things in other people's countries. They didn't come overnight. They came out of hard decisions by the citizens, and also the determination of those citizens to make a difference. And you talk about, I think one of the, I'm not on Facebook, but sometimes things come to my attention, like today I saw that there is television now in Dread Room. So we did say that we want to make sure that all of our capital have television. It's a right. That should have happened years ago. We're not telling you why it didn't happen. We're just telling you why we have to do it, because that's a citizen's right. We went to drive through and came back. We could have come the same day, but we spent there because we went for a program. And the ministers have already explained to you some of the things that I would have and to talk about. But one thing I can tell you is that it's not going backwards. We want to move our country so that all of you can be proud. When you hold a passport to go to other countries, you are saying that I'm here, but I can go back. And because of that, because they know you have somewhere to go back, they have better respect for you. I remember some way back, I went to Cote d'Ivoire, Cote d'Ivoire, and when I said from Nigeria, I said, you stay there? That was the question they asked. Because that's our country, and we are determined at all costs to make sure that country is a country that will build for posterity, for people like you, to give you that sense of belonging. There are some issues that you raised in here, that some of them, especially like the Tubman University. Some years back, we went to Tubman University when Dr. Davis was the president, and we are very proud of Tubman University to see the progress we're making. And as you know, government come and go, but things are not been working very well. But we are determined to make sure that not only Tubman University, but all of those universities, because when you graduate, the degree they give you is saying that you can compete with anybody, anywhere. And that's the very reason we're starting at a base. We are going to build 100 elementary schools, all equipped with computer programs, to make sure our children, but those that are coming, begin to pick up, so that they too can compete. And for some of you, and luckily this time, everything that happened, you know it. So you see the quality of high school one day. We're not doing it to please ourselves, we're doing it because Liberia has. I have said to countries that are saying that they are the gateway to Africa, I said Liberia will be the destination. We'll pass through them and come there. That's what we're determined. But we need your help, and I want to say thanks to you for being here as good citizens. We haven't heard anything negative. You're here, and some of you are seeking education. Some of you, as we know, are helping families back home. And that's the difficulty about living in an underdeveloped country. You can't live very well here because, especially with cell phones now, they don't even check on your time. They just call you. But I want to thank you. I think for some of you who have been following, we have a very successful diaspora program in the state here last time to show that we are also concerned about our people in the diaspora, for the contribution they make. And one of the vexing things is after you send all the remittances, you go back home, sometimes they think they tell you that they are doing, they don't do that. But the worst of all, you get to the airport, as a citizen, you want to be received, somebody they're hustling you, squeezing money out of you. These things we are working, we know it because we too have experienced them. So we are there to make sure that our country will move forward for good. The Southeast is moving everywhere. Even one of the roads that Minister talked about, we want to make sure that road will pass through Bakolo straight to Lofa again. I mean, that's what you do. That a toll road is going to be built from St. Paul Bridge straight to Waterside. For some of you who have gone to Monrovia or Present, you know now you can leave Broward Field with a little bit of ease. And they were talking about electricity in that corridor. It's already going on. As a matter of fact, we have a managing director who he just gave me his briefing 2 days ago. That road, they taken the light from year straight. Talking about the drug issue, these are not issues that go over there. I don't even call the name Zogo because these are children of parents. When people had a children, they call them Zogos. But you know what happened in our country? We have had coup d'etat, we have had war. A lot of people have been left behind. Sometimes they leave you with 5, 6 children. It's difficult, so they go in the street. They become stray. But we're doing everything to bring them back. And thank God, some of them are coming back by the good examples we send, by putting our resources to show them that we care. So we are doing that. And they are doing their best to come back. So the drug issue is associated with that. You've seen that we're making moves, even in the most difficult time. I don't like to complain about what we inherited, because I always say, don't cause the darkness, turn the light on. You can't sit and complaining. That's why we say we're coming there. And that's why the people trusted us. So our job is to make them know that we are responding to their requests. So Liberia is moving, and there's no reason to be afraid that once good things happen, you think the people in the Southeast would like to take 2, 3 days to go. It won't happen again. And all of us are part of that effort that you do here. We are also working for medical reasons. You go to a place that every time you have to go to Ghana for something that you can do in Nigeria. And not just going there, you gotta go pay money to get in the hospital, to pay in the hotel. Can't afford it. So we are putting practices. We are building diagnostic centers across the country. We have people walking. Do we want to always beg people? See how when you're building a road, you take 6, 7, 10 years. And if you have the resources, you don't have to do that. But I can tell you, we have good news. Those roads are going to be built in short time by the grace of God. And that road, management of our resources. I don't care what you do here, you eat from Boakai Holds, it tastes better home. You want to come home. Every time people leave America, they go, when they eat it with me, I say, this is organic. That's home. You know, one of the things that I saw a lady weeping the last time. She just, for 20 years, was able to see her son. Because people go back home, they don't go home. You go to Monrovia and stop there. That's not home. All of us came from some villages. And you don't know how many of people will be happy to see you. And that's what we are trying to do. To make sure that when you go home, you can reach home. Yeah. We are working, even trying to bring about domestic airlines there, that when you go home, if you can't go by road, you can, because some of you go, they gave you only about 2 weeks in soaking. But that's the job that we have to do. That's the job that we promised you to do. I said during the campaign that in 100 days, no car will get stuck in the mud. And we did it. We did it. It's not me, it's because the legislatures, the people in the finance area, all of them saw the need and the wisdom in doing it. And so, what we say to you here, please be good citizens, because I always say, it's good for them to say the chief has come, but when they say they have brought a chief, we want for you to go, we want for them to carry you. So, we want our people to be treated with dignity until they try to go. So we want to encourage you to work with the government here. And for some of you, there will be a time you will decide, try to invest back home. Don't complain about people foreigners doing this. The opportunities are there. Not very big ones, but you can do some small ones. For us, I think you know what we've done. We felt that the first thing to do is, because of all the crises we have, was to reconcile the society, bring about peace. Because, like I always say, if you plant the hair and the light's still there, you lose it. If we didn't make peace, we would still be haunted. That's why we had to go to Dread Road, to Rebury Road. That's how we had to rebury Talbot and the people who were all executed so that we can bring about peace. I am told the July 26th apart was the biggest celebrated July 26th ever in Liberia. Why? Because the people now feel that they have a country and people that care for them. That's the job that we will do, and that's what we want for you to help us do. I want to thank you so much for all the contributions you make. The ministers have addressed most of the issues they are concerned. Our concern is to make Liberia a better place, and I can tell you, everybody you see around here, they are determined to do that. We want to make you proud. We want for you to, every day, I hear people for the first time calling and thanking. The ones who are complaining are the ones who want to take us back to Egypt, but we can't go there. But then, when God gave you a chance to do something, do it. If you don't do it, don't blame the next person. So, almost going to 2 years, you know very well that the next year, the third year, the fourth year, Liberia will be a different country. I just want to say we're very proud of you. Some of you who are here going to school. Our scholarships are not limited to just go away. You are here and you study, you're doing a good job. We know about it. We don't have all the resources, but definitely we want to groom our people who will go back and serve their country. And so we know about it. Maybe the opportunities are there that we can help. When we travel, like we did, we also request scholarship to help our young people so that we can prepare them for their country. Gradually, we'll move them, but I can tell you that the request for River G for school are being placed. The Minister for Education has already done a survey of where their schools, and in fact, one of the first reports she gave was that there were 7 counties out of 15 where there's an under enrollment of children. grossly, and we are dealing with that because every child in our country must have the opportunity to learn, and we're doing it. I that some goodwill that we're even not forced, but encourage the girls to stay in school because the report says that up to the 6th, 7th grade, you have more girls. But by the time we start going higher, they are left behind. And some of the reasons we know.
Yeah.
And some of those reasons to fight them so that they can give the girls a chance to learn. Because, you know, I always tell my boys, I say, you hear people say, my daughter sent for me. You never hear say, my son sent for me. If the son sent for you, you send it for a mother-in-law. Because the wife will pressure. So we have to train our girls because they care for the family. And we have to make sure that on the sporting side, don't worry. Liberia is now winning games. All we have to do is to encourage them to work with the structure, like the minister said. But every area of development is what we're going to emphasize and we're going to work with. So I just want to say thank you for being here, for inviting us. We are happy to see you well and healthy, and we want to encourage you. I want to thank the government here. The president has demonstrated that he's willing to work with us. And I'm sure it's part of the fact that you are behaving as you should. And we want to say, continue to be good citizens. God bless you.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jack.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion,